Yeah, here. To fix that.
About
Fix the view.
background reading note.
I'm trying to get you.
Oh,
Right, they're turning the video on.
okay. Good morning, Paul.
And Claire is also there.
Good morning, Claire.
Morning.
Morning.
Claire, can you turn your camera on? We can't see you. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're ready to start. So welcome everyone to the Statutory Planning Committee meeting of the 13th of November 2024. In opening the meeting, I'd like to acknowledge that this meeting is being live streamed, so welcome to everyone who is viewing online. This meeting will be recorded and will be available via the Commission's website or YouTube for viewing. Members may refer to technical devices during the meeting to assist them in consideration of the information before them. And I'd like to start by acknowledging that today we meet on the lands of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation and pay respects to elders past and present. Apologies and leave of absence. We do have an apology from the chairman today, and we also do have Member Knight who is late due to train delay. That has been quite extensive and we're not sure whether she will be able to join the meeting, but we're hoping that she can. Attending in person today, we have myself, Commissioner Adair, Commissioner Brooks, Member Harmon and Member Moore, and online we have Franklin and Commissioner Lakey. Item 1.3, disclosures of interest. We do have 3 disclosures today in relation to item 3.2, the Shire of Ashburton's Local Planning Strategy Amendment 1. We have Member Moore declaring an indirect pecuniary interest. Member Moore advised he's working for a client with a property in the Shire of Ashburton and is not seeking to participate and will leave the meeting for the item. On item 4.1, we have 2 declarations. City of Wanneroo District Planning Scheme Number 2, Standard Amendment 205. From Commissioner Brooks, a perceived impartiality interest in that Commissioner Brooks advised that Bakwa, her employer, engaged to complete water management planning for various developments within and adjacent to the amendment areas. However, Commissioner Brooks does not believe that her work has any real conflict with the proposed amendment, so will be remaining in the meeting for the item. And on the same item, Member Franklin has advised that she resides in the City of Wanneroo in East Wanneroo, but the amendment area does not affect her property and she will be remaining in the meeting for the item. Are there any other declarations of interest? Thank you very much. Item 4.1, declaration of due consideration. Can all members please indicate that they have the agenda? Very much all. And item 1.5, previous minutes of Wednesday the 30th of October 2024. Can I please have a mover and seconder to adopt the minutes? Moved by Commissioner Brooks, seconded by Member Harmon. Any dissent or questions? They're adopted. Thank you very much. So we'll now move to deputations and presentations, and Sam, today we have one.
We have, yes, one deputation this morning from the City of Wanneroo on item 4.1 on the agenda, the City of Wanneroo District Planning Scheme Number 2, Standard Amendment Number 205. We do have Greg Bowring, so I'll just allow Greg to join the meeting. Greg, if you can hear us, if you could turn your video on so we can see you, please.
Turned off automatically. Yep, turned off automatically. Thanks. That's right.
Okay. Thanks very much and good morning, Greg, and welcome to the Statutory Planning Committee. As I've highlighted, you're here today to address the committee on item 4.1 on the agenda. You have been allocated 3 minutes for your deputation. We don't have our timer online today, so we'll ask that you manage your time accordingly in the delivery of your deputation. So over to you when you're ready. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Just talking to Amendment 205, which is 4.1 on the agenda today. This is the 16th amendment that the city's undertaken since 2020, which is part of our normalisation project. So it's our overall project to take a lot of our old structure plans and bring them into our scheme. Although some of these amendments have taken longer to go through the process for endorsement to advertise, most amendments at this point have progressed without any major issues. City's other normalisation amendments have presented similar proposals to what has been sought through Amendment 205. However, it's only this amendment that has taken quite a long time to get to this point, and it's been the subject of a lot more scrutiny than we feel is warranted for the committee today. Amendment 205 was initiated in April by council and has been waiting over 6 months for consent. It's much longer than others that we have presented of a similar type, and we're just not sure why that has taken so long. The city's concerns are compounded by a bit of a lack of communication on this one, in particular the range and scope of changes being recommended by the officers compared to what council has endorsed for public consultation. The purpose of reviewing the scheme amendment prior to advertising, in our view, should be generally to pick out the fundamental flaws prior to advertising. In this case, the city doesn't consider its amendment as proposed to have been fundamentally flawed, nor has that been advised to us. Rather, it seems it's taken a highly detailed assessment and determined at this stage and determined what it feels should be subject to community consultation, and it's been done at the DPLH officer level, rather than seeking to advertise what has been endorsed by council. Technical issues, etc., they're accepted, of course, but the key purpose and the intent of the amendment should be addressed post-advertising and not before the community has been consulted on the proposal endorsed by council, in our view. Officer's recommendation seeks a raft of changes to the proposed amendment, which the city doesn't support. For example, the proposed removal of restricted use conditions for the service commercial development along Furnace Road. These conditions were embedded in the structure plan in 2004 and have guided the successful implementation of a buffer which protects the amenity of the adjoining residential housing. Removal of these provisions from the structure plan will mean the buffer will have no statutory power and be undermined by successive development, which will negatively impact on the existing residences who have built and enjoyed a suitable with a suitable separation of development, which was part of the original planning framework. And it's not really clear why that would be removed at this stage while development is still occurring in the area. It's not been explained why the restricted use conditions, for example, must be removed prior to the proposal being advertised. It doesn't appear any regard has been given to the planning purpose of these provisions and the value of their retention. There are also a number of coinciding structure plan amendments the city has proposed that the DPLH has taken issue with. The regulations were amended in 2021 so that amendments to a structure plan can be carried out at the same time as a scheme amendment. It's not clear why this DPLH is unwilling to fully capitalise on the benefits of this process, which includes the DPLH not having to consider a separate structure plan amendment. In regard to the structure plan amendments, for example, there appears to be no valid reason why the DPLH is recommending undoing all of the proposed structure plan modifications to bring the undeveloped business precinct into line with the service commercial zone of our scheme. This amendment has a link with the scheme amendment, which rezones the developed parts of the business precinct to service commercial. We cannot understand the importance of maintaining the, it seems to undermine the importance of maintaining the structure plan's residential precinct and for this area to have separate controls compared to the established areas which were proposed as part of the proposed to be zoned residential in the scheme. So there's just doesn't seem to have been a lot of thought about what the city's existing framework is, why it was there, and what the recommended changes are supposed to actually encapsulate. And that's our major concern. I think there's too many proposed changes and they haven't been discussed with us before putting them to yourselves. So ideally, we'd like to see the matter deferred and come back to us, have another chat with us about it before going out to consultation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Greg. Appreciate your deputation. It's Emma Cole, the Deputy Chair here, and I will now just go to members to see if there are any questions for you. Members, any questions? Commissioner Adair?
Thank you, Chair. Greg, you're seeking a deferral. How long do you think, because obviously if the SPC was inclined to go that way, we've got to put a time frame around it coming back to us. How long do you think you need?
Well, I don't think it takes much more than a meeting or two with the officers, and it will really be down to what their timeframes are for getting a report back. So, well, if we had a deferral, we could have a chat next week or the week after, time permitting, with the staff in the team. But then it will just be up to their timeframes to get a report back up to SPC. So I'd be guided by them.
Thanks.
Thank you, Greg. Any other questions for Greg? Go ahead, Member Franklin. You're muted.
Sorry. Through the chair to the city. I just want to also clarify the status of the preparation of your scheme. I mean, obviously you've been initiating a series of amendments, but where are you at this point, if the scheme was considered a more suitable vehicle to deal with these matters?
So we've had the local planning strategy, I believe, it's endorsed for advertising. I think so. Yeah. So we're going out for consultation for our local planning strategy, and we're working on, and we've been in parallel working on our local planning scheme 3. So that's still a while away. What we're trying to do is deal with a lot of our older structure plans before October next year, when a lot of them expire. So we've been going through a very concerted program of normalisation, taking out provisions. So basically to reduce the issues around having old structure plans where there's no one in control of them really anymore other than the city, so that they're not a complication for when we do move to Scheme 3.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, members? And welcome to the night. We understand. Any other questions for Greg? Greg, thank you very much for your deputation. We do note your request for deferral. Probably just flag that we do only have 2 SPC meetings remaining for the year, but we will discuss this when it comes to the item. So thank you for your deputation.
Thank you.
Okay, so there was only 1 deputation today, so we will move to items for consideration. We have 2 items that have been withdrawn from the agenda today. The first item that's been withdrawn is 3.1, which is the development application for the staircase and boat shed at Lot 13, Cliffway, Claremont. And we have also had item 3.3 withdrawn, which was the reconsideration of subdivision decision 27 at Lot 9009, Cranwood Crescent by Vash, and that both of those items are likely to come back to the 11th of December meeting. So we'll go straight to item 3.2, Shire of Ashburton Local Planning Strategy 2021, Amendment Number 1, certification to advertise, and Member Moore will leave the meeting for this item. And we are joined today by Patrick McClure and Leighton Goldsworthy. Item. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending today. We've obviously all read the report, but is there anything that you wish to add before we take questions?
Nothing to add. Thanks, Chair.
Great, thank you.
Contained in the report.
Well, thank you. Members, questions on this item? No questions? Okay. Can I please have a mover and seconder to adopt the item? It's moved by Member Harmon, seconded by Commissioner Adair. Thank you very much. Any dissent? The item is carried. Thank you, Member Moore. That item moved very quickly. So we're now going to enter confidential items. So I will need a mover and seconder for consideration of confidential items behind closed doors. So could I please call for a mover, Member Knight, seconded by Commissioner Brooks. All those in favour? Thank you very much. So confidential items, we will